All right, y'all. We need to talk. I was on a little hibernation, but then I saw this video. And I was like, yeah, we need to have a talk. We need to have a talk. You know what time it is? Your boy Vinnie-Dangerous, 1430. Let's get it. So, I know it's been a minute, maybe about a month since the last video. Shout out to my boy Tracy Lamont for the dope discussion about AI. Make sure you check out the video if you haven't. And I had a few ideas for episodes that I started jotting down and making notes and realizing they're not really gonna make that great of an episode. Um, you can kind of get these ideas, and you get to making the notes, you get to trying to think about how you're gonna approach them, and then you realize it's just not gonna make good content. And I don't want to put out content just for the sake of making content, like for the sake of being consistent or to feed the algorithm. I don't want to do that to y'all. I certainly don't want to make those episodes. So until something really catches my eye, I don't really see myself doing that to y'all or doing that to this show. So for the people that have been patient with me, I appreciate that. For the people that are new here, welcome. Make sure you hit a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you leave a comment, because regardless if you agree with me or disagree with me, I'm pretty sure you're probably gonna have some strong opinions about what I got to say. So, and I definitely want to hear from y'all, because this video is so weird. Like, it really struck a nerve with me. When I first saw it, I really didn't think it was real, to be honest. Like, I thought it might have been AI generated or something. Like, there's so much misinformation going around on the internet with people creating these false stories, narratives, whatever you want to call them. And you analyze it for a little bit, or you just wait a little while and it comes out that it wasn't real and it was just AI. But this video is very much real. An entire club, according to the person who was filming, was jumping, and everybody's having a good time until the DJ had the nerve to play some Gunna, and the whole club is completely still, like they're trying to do the mannequin challenge from back in the day. And I just thought it was nuts. It really blew my mind because of how unified everybody was in that club when that song came on, and they just was like, yo, we're not gonna support this. Now, this club was in Atlanta, and Young Thug is beloved in Atlanta from what I know. Gunna's from Atlanta too, but as far as I could tell, Young Thug has a lot more years in the game with the community in Atlanta to just make him much more of a revered figure than Gunna. I'm not from Atlanta, so I don't know what the energy is out there, but I could definitely see why people had such a strong reaction to the DJ playing this song. But a particular tweet, because I'm looking at this from Hip Hop DX, I posted it from their Instagram page. I repost a lot of the stories to my story on the 1430 podcast Instagram. Make sure y'all follow that if you're not. And right behind the video, they posted a tweet, and it really had me thinking. It was a series of tweets, but this one particular one kind of started it for me. It was like, y'all do this for Gunna, but not R. Kelly. It's crazy. No wonder he got away with this shit for decades. And then, in the other various tweets that are accompanying that post, they were bringing up people like Kodak Black and Trey Songz, who just got hit with another abuse allegation not too long ago. There was Tory Lanez, there's Dr. Dre. Honestly, the list can go on and on of artists that have done things, way, way bigger than, Gunna allegedly being a snitch. And I don't think any of them would have gotten that same reaction if you played their music in the club. I've seen videos of people playing R. Kelly in the club, and people act like he didn't just have a little girl on videotape peeing on her. Like, and it just kind of made me think, like, where do you draw the line? Because, it feels very uncomfortable for me to listen to some of these cats' music, and I just find it funny that certain people have been screaming for a long time. I can separate the art from the artist. Yeah, they did such and such, but the music is what I'm a fan of and what I can still enjoy regardless of knowing what we know now. Or we'll go to the ends of the earth to come up with all these crackpot conspiracy theories, whether it came from their own mind or it was off of somebody's post online, treating it like fact just because it fit the narrative that they wanted to believe to continue to enjoy these artists' music with no guilt. Now, and I think this is kind of funny because it's been kind of happening lately with a lot of my videos, especially when I changed from Dangerous Mind to 1430. But I'm not a fan of Gunna. I've heard a couple songs here and there. They were cool. Nothing that I would go back to. Nothing that I would just run to change the radio station or whatever, or change the song on title if it came on. But there was nothing that really made me go, that I can't rock with it. But nothing that I was really like a fan of either. So, and I think that's good. Like, I think it's good that I'm able to just kind of separate myself from being a fan. Because, being a fan of somebody is real easy to jump out and really try to defend them because of how much you love their music and how much, they or their music means to you. But I could be completely unbiased with my takes when it comes to this situation because I'm not a fan. And I mean, to be honest, I'm a little bit more of a fan of Young Thug's music than anything I've ever heard from Gunna. So anything that I say is not coming from I'm for this person, against this person. I just think this situation is crazy when you really think about it. So, and then, this is kind of like the idea that snitching, and I know snitching is kind of treated like the most egregious thing in the hood. Yeah, like there's even outside of music, there's people in the hood that'll hang out with a guy that they know has assaulted a woman. They know don't take care of their kids. That know that have murdered people. But, and they hang out with them, no problem, but won't be caught dead next to a snitch. So I understand where that mind frame comes from. Like, a lot of the people I see on the internet, I'm pretty sure that have such a strong, or say they have such a strong opinion about this, not really in the street. They're more like keyboard gangsters that live vicariously through their favorite artists. And, and maybe in some way, that's the reason why they, rock with these artists despite their heinous crimes that they're either accused or found guilty of. Because without them, they don't have a personality. That's just a thought. But this idea that snitching can be put over these different things. Like, there's this people, and I say this all the time. I say this all the time on this show. I've said it on a few episodes. I don't understand why people feel the need to jump out and feel like they got to put on their cape for their favorite artist, when in reality, you can just listen to your favorite artist and nobody has to know. Nobody has to know that you still got R. Kelly in your headphones, or that you still listen to Kodak Black in your car. Like, unless somebody gets in the car that don't agree with you, nobody has to know. I really don't understand why you feel like you got to jump out there. I mean, people gonna give you looks that don't agree with you. I really don't see a lot of people coming up to you in person and really having that much to say about the artist that you rock with. So I really don't understand the need to jump out and, cut so much bail. You cutting so much bail that you going in debt for your favorite artist. I really don't understand that. There's been plenty of artists. I mean, hell, Kanye told me that slavery was a choice and that my ancestors were just lazy and wasn't brave enough to put up a bigger fight to get themselves out of slavery. I cut him out. I mean, hell, God Made a Monster is like a pseudo diss to Kanye. Wasn't really purposeful, other than a couple lines here and there. But in reality, like, I was just very hurt by the artist that was very influential to me. But as soon as he said some crazy, wild stuff, I had to let him go. He put on the MAGA hat. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I probably still listen to him, but in reality, like, once he said slavery is a choice, probably that was where I had to draw the line, and I stuck with that. But there were people having conversations with me defending what he said. They were trying to rationalize that death or slavery was an actual realistic choice. I mean, there's a generation of black folks who, let's be honest, would fold at even a tenth of a lot of what their ancestors went through, but just have the nerve to try to say that we're not our generation, we're not our grandparents' generation. We gonna mess you up. And I'm trying not to cuss because these videos get demonetized real quick. Like, that's happened to me the last couple times. But yeah, like, these people, claim that they're not, the past generation. They fight. Like, listen to Nuck If You Buck. I don't know what them stupid shirts say no more. So, I feel like that mindset is what, just a theory, that mindset is what also led to them trying to justify Kanye and what he said. And I think it's nuts that somebody can look at you and tell you that because of what the egregious things that happen to the people that are your foremothers and fathers, and try to say that they were lazy and everything that has happened was because of their laziness. I think that's crazy, and I couldn't stand with him anymore. And there were people trying to cut him so much bail on top of that. And it's not just the fans, like, it was rappers. Like, I saw all the rappers who decided to they just wanted to unfollow Gunna. The two that came to mind is like people like Meek Mill and Dirk and Lil Baby. Like, these people were just like completely separating themselves from this guy behind this. And I think the Dirk thing is especially funny to me. I'm just gonna post these two pictures right here. Like, anybody that's listened to Lil Durk's music knows that if everything that he's talking about is factual, he damn near killed an entire generation in Chicago. Him and his people. You can stand next to killers. He can stand next to a racist, but he can't stand next to a snitch. I don't know. I think the priorities there are kind of fucked up. So to see these rappers move the way they move, because there were people still working with Trey Songz even after the allegations. There are people that still work with Kodak Black after the allegations, and the only reason why he got off is because the person that he is accused of dealing with, an underage girl, didn't want to testify. It's the same reason why R. Kelly got off in like 2008. So I don't even try to use that as like a justifiable reason to say that, oh, well, he went to court, but he got off. Like, I don't. And then, there have been other stories, and there's been other instances, stuff that he's broadcast himself, that kind of says, hey, this nigga might be guilty. But people still ride for them so hard. They're still making music with him. People were making music with R. Kelly when the tape came out. It was an open secret about him and Aaliyah in the industry, apparently. Even when he went to trial and he got off on a technicality, everybody rushed to work with R. Kelly right after that. These artists only have morals when they could potentially get in the way of the bag, or if they gotta save face for the streets. And it's crazy to me. It's crazy. I don't understand. I don't understand where y'all draw the line. Like, it's funny because a white dude or a white person could do something, whether it's be like, oh, they sing or they dance. They could do one of our dances pretty well. Or, a little white girl got a little bit of ass behind her. And they be real quick to, pass out, invitations to the cookout. Like, be real quick to try to swing them over, almost giving them a nigga pass. But just let somebody be a black person be a little bit too alternative for you. Somebody, they might, and it don't even have to be nothing too big. It could just be that, they don't eat certain foods, or they don't watch or have not watched certain, things that are considered like, classics in the hood or whatever. Like, they ain't seen Boys in the Hood or Menace to Society. They ain't watched Soul Food. They ain't watched, The Color Purple or whatever. Like, it'd be real quick to like revoke somebody's black card for that one thing, and all it takes is that one little minuscule thing to bring outsiders into the fold. I just find this stuff hilarious. I don't know where we draw the line anymore. All I do know is these people who, just because they make good music, and I'm real, a lot of the people that I just named don't really make good music, if we're being fair. I know it's my opinion, but sometimes opinions could be facts. But there are some people who make music that you like, that you are a fan of, whether it's their television, whether it's their television shows, whether it's their movies, whether they're a comedian that you like, whether they're a politician that you ride for. There are a lot of people that do things that do heinous things that you stand next to, regardless of what they've done, and that's your choice. But don't come to me and tell me that you have a problem with one thing and not the other. Like, it's you. Hey, look, I'm not a street dude. I grew up in certain neighborhoods in Fayetteville. I got people, friends, family members that are, part of those lifestyles. I can't talk today. I don't, that's as much of an association with the streets that I got. So I'm not expert on what a snitch is or isn't. There were like lawyers that were online that were piecing together the plea deal, and was telling people, oh, he wasn't actually snitching. It was more of a play on the prosecutor's side to get him off. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't even know if Thug may have given him approval on this or not. I don't know. All I do know is I don't treat snitching worse than sexual assault, pedophilia, domestic violence. Hell, I don't know. I saw a lot of people coming up with crackpot conspiracies about Jonathan Majors. My boy Just, shout out to my boy Just. You know, we did the Me Against the World album retrospective at the end of March. Make sure y'all check that out too, especially that one. That's one of my favorites because of how much I love that album and how much it means to me. But anyway, I talked to him when the Jonathan Major stuff came out, and I wanted to talk about it, and I chose not to speak on it because it's real easy to jump on the immediate reaction. I've been guilty of this before. You know, you hear about it, you see kind of what the discourse is, and depending on, you know, what evidence is out there or lack thereof, it's real easy to kind of get swept up in the, you know, immediate reaction. And I wanted to talk about it. And I talked to him, and he told me to just let it play out. And it is one of those ones where, hell, I don't really know what's real and what's not. Sometimes it's like, oh man, Buddy's out of here. And then there's other times where it just, you know, stories come out, text messages, you know, lawyers start to speak on what evidence they do or don't have or whatever. And it just, the stories that keep coming out about this, the more and more it's dragged on, the weirder and weirder it gets, right? So I'm reserving judgment to even try to speak on it. And I feel like a lot of people should do that in a lot of these other cases. I felt like people should have did this when the whole Tory and Meg thing happened, for example. Just kind of give it some time, let it play out, and then, you know, once we have more evidence. But if years have gone by, the trial has come and gone, and, you know, the verdict has been laid out, and you're still riding with them, that is your choice. At the end of the day, I'm not telling you what to do and what not to do, but I think you need to take a long look in the mirror that if you could stand next to a pedophile, a murderer, a rapist, like a guy that beats up his wife, but you can't stand next to a snitch, I think you really need to reevaluate where you draw the line. But that's my time. Thank you for watching. Make sure that you hit a like on this video. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about my opinions on this situation or about the whole situation in general. But until next time, it's been 1430. Much love.